Hello, fellow Americans. You are on the YouTube channel Common Constitutionalism, and I am Mitch. I talk about issues in our government, the erosion of our culture, the minimizing of our way of life, and the disregard for our Constitution. Keep your conservative voices active. Subscribe to this channel and listen as I talk about issues we are facing in our country and government. Visit my website, commonconstitutionalism.com. Enjoy reading my conservative blogs, and if you like them, maybe throw in a donation. While on commonconstitutionalism.com, go ahead and shop at the Sage Novelty Shop, where you will find shirts which feature our very own unique conservative political memes and captions. Display your conservative beliefs with pride. These items send a clear message without saying a word, or if you prefer, you can use them as a conversation starter. Come join my Facebook group, Common Constitutionalism, for discussions of topics, sharing of ideas, and interacting with others just like yourself who are proud to be Americans. Russian collusion was a setup from the start. As America began seeing evidence and documentation being made public early May 2020 concerning the investigations of General Flynn and Trump's Russian collusion, it took only a couple of these documents to realize how absolutely illegal, fake, and treasonous the 4-year hoax really is. The truth is beginning to show the width and depth of liberal media, intelligence agencies, and Democrat politicians' involvement in and cover-up of the attempted presidential coup. We are finally getting evidence to know that Russian collusion was a setup from the start, codenamed Hurricane Crossfire. 2 weeks prior to Trump taking over as President of the United States, President Obama, in a meeting with his FBI director, James Comey, and National Security Advisor Susan Rice, Obama asked him, how much information on Russia should we share with Trump, and how open should we be with that information? What kind of an outgoing administration would keep national security information from the incoming administration? One that is hiding something or possibly obstructing, I would say. Obama then asked Comey to watch over Trump the next 2 weeks and get back to me. Comey replied by saying he would do so, once again proving the Russian collusion hoax went all the way to the top. We Republicans and conservatives knew all along that the idea of Trump, his campaign, or his administration being involved in colluding with Russia was no more than a political hack job. It didn't pass the smell test and reeked of political agenda. Led by a bunch of lying liberal politicians and others who have proven to be very poor losers of an election won by a person who is not of their elitist political class. The documentation coming out is telling us these conspiring elitists all knew no evidence had been found that President Trump, his campaign, or his administration colluded with Russia in any way. Yet to this day, 4 years later, these liberal elitists are still pushing their fake propaganda every day. To anyone who was actively involved in perpetuating the phony Russian collusion investigations or subsequent investigations, and anyone who participated in the cover-up or joined the attempt to remove a sitting president with known false accusations, I say you are a bunch of phony, lying, power-hungry SOBs. Just think of all the BS you have taken this country through and all the money that you have cost the taxpayers over the last 4 years. You wasted time and money pursuing witch hunt investigations, all the while thinking that you elitist know-it-alls are so much smarter than the citizens of this great United States of America. Not only should you be ashamed, you should be prosecuted. Those of you who were directly involved in the cover-up and hoax of some wrongdoing by President Trump, his campaign, or his administration, you should be prosecuted and kicked out of office. For those Democrats who have in any way known this evidence was fake, but still helped to promote the vicious lies and coup of a sitting president and his administration, you also should at the least be kicked out of office. It is absolutely reprehensible that any elected government official would do anything anywhere near this illegal and selfish act of attempting to unseat a duly elected president, simply because he is not of your elitist scumbag political class. This purely elitist action only proves how crooked and arrogant thinking members of Congress really are. It is my hope that every American who gives a damn about their country and their Constitution will never forget what it is like to have elected government officials that believe they are above the law and above the common taxpayer. This type of government official has an elitist, above the law attitude that gives them the arrogance to believe they have the right to blatantly disregard the will of the people. Any voter that casts a vote for any of these phony, scumbag, lying politicians should themselves forever be shamed. In light of the Trump dossier and Russian collusion documents, which are finally being made public, the disconnect between government and the populace has become even more clear. Over the past 30 years, Democrat politicians have moved further left in a more socialist and divisive direction. Since 2008, with the help of Obama and his administration, Democrats have become extremely cavalier. Since President Trump's election, their smug behaviors have escalated out of control. This is why the American people no longer trust in and have contempt for Congress, government, Washington, D.C., and politicians. Conservatives have felt for the past 4 years that Democrat politicians and others were carrying out a planned attack to remove President Trump from office, mostly by promoting fake and fabricated propaganda using many underhanded and distasteful means. We also believed Obama to be divisive, racist, and inclined to conduct thought to be abuse of power after his election in 2008. We saw Obama's actions embolden his administration and Democrats as they acted with bias in a win at any cost way. Now that the recent documents are released, it leaves little doubt our conservative guts were correct about Obama, his administration, and political cronies. It is most probable the release and future documents will show us all how overreaching these pompous individuals acted. There is no doubt in my mind that if all is equal in the United States of America, if there is one justice system for all, and no one is above the law, then the following individuals should be prosecuted for their criminal behaviors, and their sentences should fit those crimes. James Comey, Adam Schiff, Robert Mueller, Andrew McCabe, James Clapper, John Brennan, Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, Susan Rice, Sally Yates, Loretta Lynch, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Hillary Clinton, Vice President Joe Biden, and President Barack Obama. Isn't it interesting that the very things the Democrats impeached President Trump for, which were never proven, are the exact same things these documents are revealing to us the Democrats and others actually did commit? It looks as though these documents will prove the Democrats were up to their eyeballs involved in Russian collusion, obstruction, and abuse of power. Seems like a big attempt to deflect attention from them to Trump. I believe time will give us all the truth. The way liberal mainstream media has responded to the release of these documents, it is clear they were in on the cover-up as well. As the media has done all along, they are continuing to reverse everything back to Trump. It doesn't make sense what they say. The documents are proving the FISA warrants were obtained illegally. Media's response is that Trump is politicizing the Russian collusion investigation, and he is trying to deflect attention away from himself. They just keep digging a bigger hole. The outcome of all of this had better be those who broke the law will get prosecuted and sentenced to fit the crime. This includes Hillary and her illegal server, Biden and Obama for their involvement and knowledge in any illegal act, as well as Comey, Schiff, Mueller, and all the rest. If these people are not held accountable, you will lose the American people's trust and belief in the United States legal system. The people's belief is already on thin ice. Most people already believe there is a two-tier legal system in our country. Most believe none of these crooked individuals will be held accountable. As always in Washington, D.C., it will all get covered up. Your vote does matter. Vote conservative in 2020. Let's see what we can accomplish here. My aim is to create a loyal following so I can continue bringing awareness to these kinds of issues. We will talk about issues in our government, the erosion of our culture, the minimizing of our way of life, and the disregard for our Constitution. I would appreciate you all exploring, donating, subscribing, joining, and shopping on my sites. You will see them displayed at the beginning and the end of the videos. Until next time, this is Common Constitutionalism, and I am Mitch. Thank you, America.